proven tax referral strategy, such as the deferred sales trust, is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Hey, I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I am joined by some of the best real estate minds, financial and wealth advisors in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. Hey, I'm excited about our next guest. He is a master when it comes to helping you unlock your IRA to be able to go into real estate or other investments, and essentially give your IRA a makeover. You know, have you ever heard of the total money makeover? Well, Dimitri is going to help you have a total IRA makeover. Okay, so please welcome to the show with me, Dimitri Formachinka, and please, Dimitri, make sure we pronounce that name correctly, because I know I just butchered that.
Brad, thanks so much for having me. You did well.
Okay, excellent. Would you start giving our listeners a little bit about your background and your current focus?
Sure. Well, Brad, you and your listeners, as you can hear from my accent, I'm not from here. I am an immigrant. I moved into this beautiful country back in 1996 from Russia. Didn't speak any English at that time, didn't have any money, but my background is in electromechanical engineering. And that's what I went to school for back in Russia. I got the degree. When I moved here, I took some additional classes, translated my degree into BS in electromechanical engineering, worked for a few years, got laid off, was forced to look for something else, ended up in financial services, and at the same time, learned about real estate investing and made a couple deals. And then eventually I transitioned full-time into real estate, was working with a local real estate investment firm. And back in 2007, when the market changed, because of my background and experience, I was given a task to start a department doing self-directed retirement accounts, because we couldn't find a company that will work with us long-term and provide good enough services to our clients. So I started doing this as a department, and then a year later, I started Sense Financial in 2010, and that's what I've been doing since. And our focus is providing our clients with the checkbook control over their retirement accounts, because most clients have IRAs or 401ks that are locked up and limited to the investments in the stock market. So with our solution, they're able to invest into virtually anything.
Absolutely love that. And that's like the deferred sales trust. Actually, maybe call it capital gains tax checkbook control, right? Because you can take it and really invest in just about anything. But that being said, we're going to dive into the full interview here on the next episode. But we're doing a little short introduction to you and to what we're going to be diving in with the IRA makeover. But in the meantime, you know, for our listeners who, you know, especially from your perspective, Dimitri, really kind of curious, you know, with taxes and getting unlocking capital, you know, what's been the biggest frustration for you, a client, friend, family member, when it comes to capital gains tax deferral or lack of options for anyone that you've helped out?
Well, obviously the biggest problem when it comes to, you know, capital gains is the taxes. So the problem is in the question. The taxes is the problem, but how do you avoid that? And I personally dealt with that. I had a property that appreciated well here in California and more than doubled in value. And I was considering 1031, but I just couldn't find anything that I liked. So I ended up, you know, just biting the bullet and selling the property, paying the taxes, and just investing in a different asset class, which was private lending. Also had my brother-in-law dealing with the same situation about a year ago. He had a highly appreciated fourplex here in Southern California, and he was looking for solutions. He ended up doing a 1031, but it was a hassle because of all the deadlines you have to meet.
Yeah, those are some of the biggest frustrations, right? So if you can find a 1031, awesome. But if not, it really hurts, right? Because you got to pay all that tax. So you double in value. And part of it is like you sell high And then 180 days later, you're like, well, my property doubled, but so did everyone, down the street or within 30 minutes or an hour away. They've all have doubled or 40% increase from when they're going to be selling it too. So you're selling high and buying in a high market, which doesn't make any sense. So that's why you paid your tax. It didn't make any sense. Although you didn't know about the deferred sales trust, maybe if you did, you would have chose that, right? And then still, by the way, been able to put the money into hard money lending. We just had a client do that. He sold and deferred about $1 million in tax, and then immediately was able to put a couple million into hard money lending, all tax deferred. So, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a great solution. I definitely wish I known about this option when I was dealing with my sale, but there is always something to learn. But I'm glad that your listeners are exposed and aware of this option.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, if you're selling a high-end primary home, public stock, private stock, commercial real estate, carried interest, whatever it might be, cryptocurrency too as well, we can use the deferred sales trust as a way to defer your capital gains tax. Just go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to learn more about that. And Dimitri, for those who want to get checkbook control of their IRAs to be able to invest in alternatives such as real estate or hard money lending, what's the best place for them to find you?
They can go to our website, which is sensefinancial.com. Sense is like common sense, SENSE, because the concepts that we discuss, they do make sense. Just like dealing with the capital gain taxes, it does make sense to defer those. But sensefinancial.com, and you can also find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Bigger Pockets.
Excellent. So go to sensefinancial.com to get your IRA a makeover, and capitalgainstaxsolutions.com if you're selling any highly appreciated asset and you're looking for options to defer your tax. And with that, hey, we wish everybody and go make some great things happen. And please rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. That will be that really helps us to spread the message to help people get free from capital gains.